The blackberry is the lesser known and less appreciated cousin of the raspberry. Flavor-wise, it's a little tartar than a raspberry, and structure-wise, it's quite a bit firmer. Raspberries have a hollow core, and blackberries don't. But when you eat them, they are soft, succulent, melt in your mouth, delicious, and that makes them perfect for jams, sauces, pies, and even for making wine. I'm Charity Nebbe. On this episode of Iowa Ingredient, we'll meet a blackberry grower in Adel who appreciates the complexity of this antioxidant-rich fruit, and Melissa Friedhoff from the famed Ross's restaurant in Bettendorf joins us in our studio kitchen to explore the sweet and savory advantages of cooking with blackberries. All that and more coming up next on Iowa Ingredient.
Funding for Iowa Ingredient has been provided by a grant from the W.T. and Edna M. Dahl Trust, Chef Lisa Laval of Trellis Cafe, and Chef Michael Laval of the Des Moines Embassy Club. For more than 100 years, the Des Moines Embassy Club has provided a place to dine, celebrate, and do business. Located in downtown Des Moines and in West Des Moines, details are at embassyclub.com. Friends, the Iowa Public Television Foundation.
The drupelets of a blackberry, and that is what those little bumps are called, are very similar to the drupelets of a raspberry. And the sweet, tart flavor makes blackberries so versatile in the kitchen. Now, of course, we've been eating them for a very long time, and before we figured out how to cultivate them, we foraged for them in the wild. And they've even had a couple of different names over time, like brambleberries and dewberries. They have a beautiful nutritional profile, so if you're looking for a unique ingredient to surprise your dinner guests with, or something to put a little pop in your breakfast routine, blackberries are ripe for the picking. 3 miles west of Adel, you'll find a scenic farm that supplies you-pick enthusiasts with a wide range of succulent Iowa berries, aptly named Berry Fresh Farms.
Berry Fresh Farms, we concentrate on the summer fruits. So we do all the berries, the raspberries, the strawberries, the blueberries, and what you're going to see today, the blackberries.
In those idyllic days of summer when the conditions are just right and berries begin ripening, Greg Lewis opens up his farm, allowing his customers to pick to their heart's content.
I don't know that we've ever had a leftover berry. Everything we grow is picked. As they will tell us when they come out, it's more about the experience than it is the picking and the eating, although that is a good second. When we started this farm, we were going to concentrate on summer fruits. So we thought, well, we'll just try everything. We'll see what people want, what grows, what we can maintain. And we were told early on the blackberries are hard in Iowa because they aren't as winter hardy as some of the other fruits. But we thought we would start with a small patch and see.
Nothing is quite like eating a perfectly ripened, juicy blackberry straight from the bush. The explosion of flavor leaves you with one of the quintessential tastes of summer.
Very juicy and sweet.
Juicy goodness stains your hands. While blackberries might not be as hardy as their raspberry cousins, Greg will tell you starting your own blackberry patch is relatively straightforward.
They're fairly easy to maintain. You just sit back and wait for the crop to come on in August. Blackberries, they are a confined bush, so you don't have the spreading issues that you have with some of the other raspberries. So they would be good for home gardens, good for container gardens, because they do stay in a confined space. We trellis all of them, so it keeps them off the ground And it's as much for that as it is for ease of picking. So when people come out, as you would see, we have thornless and we have thorny varieties in our patch. The thorny varieties, they'll grab you if you're not trellised up to where people can get at the fruit.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Those thorns, they will grab you.
And what separates them out is that the fruit, which you'll see when we pick some, the stem stays with the fruit versus a red raspberry or black raspberry where the fruit separates from the stem. Doesn't make it any harder to eat, but it is just what makes them different than the other raspberry varieties. And then when they're finally ripening, they turn into the purple that you're used to seeing. And when they're glossy, they're ready to pick.
Blackberries contain healthy amounts of vitamin C and antioxidants. They even store a sizable amount of fiber. Though they're not as popular as strawberries or red raspberries, blackberries do tend to find their way into pies and jams. Finding fresh berries in our state has never been easier. It's because of farmers like Greg and their commitment to growing local that we're able to find and pick foods at their absolute peak freshness.
You know, it was the love of growing, and a good friend of mine operates an orchard nearby, and the two of us years ago used to always say, food is the future. The people would like to know where their food comes from, that it's homegrown, and particularly fresh. It's all done for freshness and flavor, and that is what makes the difference.
Since we last visited Chef Melissa Friedhoff at Ross's in 2013, the restaurant has moved. Once a landmark in Bettendorf at the I-74 bridge, they needed to relocate to make room for interstate expansion.
So that was a monumental task, to move a restaurant that had been around for 3/4 of a century. I feel like this location kind of represents our true Iowa roots here. You know, the use of the barnwood and kind of some of the themes. I feel like it kind of represents us well, a little bit of a modern Ross's.
A lot has changed, but the most meaningful things have stayed the same. They were able to move the counter and the sign. And most importantly, Ross's spirit is still very much alive here.
I love that the counter still exists. It was always my grandfather's favorite place to be, was the counters. I feel like that is a necessary element to pay homage to that kind of history. Along with where does the counter go, that was also a big question. How do we incorporate the sign? It kind of was a missing piece for us, and such a recognizable thing for people in the Quad Cities. Driving over the bridge late night, you know, that's the first thing you see when you come into Iowa. So we're very happy that we're able to make it work up here. We have the same staff, wonderful staff, same wonderful customers, and so I think that that is something that transcends the physical space that we were blessed enough to be able to bring with us to give it the same feel. We have a lot of space here, so we can have different groups come in, and having that community use is something that I think I enjoy most up here that we didn't have before. That was my grandfather's original hope in starting a restaurant, was that he wanted to create a place where people felt at home. And over the years that I've been involved in the business, I'm always amazed at how many people still say that. Kind of whatever the spirit of the Ross's is, kind of has come with us. So I think that's a good sign.
And now I am here in the kitchen with Chef Melissa, and we're going to do some cooking with blackberries, baking with blackberries first. What are we going to make?
So we're going to make a blackberry chocolate cake with a chocolate ganache and some blackberry whipped cream.
I'm so excited about this. Okay, wonderful. Let's get started.
Okay. So first of all, we're going to add our wet ingredients to our mixer here. So there is our butter, and our buttermilk will go in next.
All right, and while you're doing wet ingredients, should I do dry ingredients?
Sure, that would be great.
Flour in.
All right. And our vanilla. All right, I'm going to start mixing here while you do that.
All right.
right, so now we have incorporated our wet ingredients, so we're ready for the
All
good
right,
stuff.
and I mixed up flour, cocoa, a little bit of salt, some baking soda, some baking powder, and
Yep.
some sugar, of
And
course.
sugar,
Sugar's
yes.
very important. All right, and you just want to add a little bit at a time?
Yeah, we'll just kind of gradually add it. Because of the blackberries and the kind of juiciness of those, we have to use a little bit of extra flour
Okay.
to kind of counter that. So we will just continue until we have added all of our dry ingredients.
Okay.
Okay, now we are set. We have combined our wet and dry ingredients, so we're ready to add the deliciousness of the
Blackberries, great. And this is a really wet ingredient. So it
is.
looks like a pretty dry cake mix right now. Is that
Yes.
kind of essential when you're working with fruit like this?
Yes, it really will counter. Otherwise, it won't set quite right. So yeah, it almost looks like the consistency or texture of brownie batter right now. But once we add the rest of it, it'll look like cake mix again.
All right, great. And you've got some blackberry puree here.
Yes.
So why did you choose to puree some of your berries?
So this will help to distribute the blackberry flavor throughout the cake. You're not just going to be encountering the whole blackberries there, but this will kind of spread the flavor out nicely
Blackberry
for us.
goodness
Yes,
everywhere. All
yes.
right, wonderful.
Plus, it's beautiful.
Yes.
All right. So we will add that in and let it mix up a little bit. Okay, and now we are ready for our coffee. People always ask me about the secret of my chocolate cakes, and now I'm divulging it.
This is it.
It is
coffee.
it.
And any specific kind of coffee?
I like to use a dark roast for. I like dark chocolate, dark roasted coffee. So, but any coffee will be fine, just as long as it's freshly brewed. You don't want it to sit all day because then it will get too bitter. So,
All right.
yes, any coffee will do. Okay, we are ready for our last step, and it is important to pour the coffee slowly.
Okay.
Kind of just add it slowly so it doesn't splash all over for us. So,
And that definitely looks more like cake batter.
yeah,
than
now it does.
did.
It
Yep.
does return to cake batter, and it smells amazing. So we will just kind of slightly mix these in so they're incorporated, and that is our last step.
All right.
Okay. All right, we are all set here.
All right, looks good. And I've got an already greased bundt pan over here.
All right, perfect. All right. Here we go.
And you're a big fan of bundt pans, aren't you?
I am. I just feel, I feel like I'm my great grandma in the kitchen. My grandmother always made a lot of bundt cakes, and so and I love the cake stands, and I just think it's a classic, beautiful thing, and you can decorate them so well. And
I think it's an easy way to make a really beautiful cake too.
It
because
is.
you don't have to do the frosting. You can do a
Right.
beautiful drizzle, and
yeah, absolutely.
nature does all the work for you.
Yes, it does. It does. It's hard to not have a beautiful bundt cake, for sure.
Now you put in your blackberry puree and your whole blackberries
Yes.
as well. So we'll really bite into those blackberries. Not everybody loves the seeds. I kind of like the seeds, but
Yes, I love the seeds. I think that it's a nice, it gives it a nice texture, and they're healthy. There's antioxidants in there, so I technically you could strain them out in your puree, but I don't think you notice it once it's baked.
All
And
right.
it's moist, and they get kind of cooked, so I think they're a little softer. So yeah, delicious. All right, we are all set to put her
Wonderful.
in the oven for 1 hour.
great. All right, now it's time to make the ganache. What do we do?
Yes, super exciting. This is a lovely velvety ganache that we're gonna make for our beautiful cake.
All right.
This is 2 cups of our cream. We're gonna go ahead and,
All right, and I just turned the heat on to low.
yeah, we'll start it out at low, and then once we get the other ingredients in, we'll just stir it a little bit until it starts to boil.
All right, so you don't want to
So-
heat cream up too fast.
Not too fast. Here is our honey, and we're using that in place of corn syrup, but it will give it a nice sheen afterwards, so it'll be beautiful.
All right.
Perfect. And now we're going to add our salt.
Just a little bit.
Yep, just a little salt there. And then, yeah, once we stir it up a little bit, we can
Should I
put it
whisk
to
that up?
medium.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And we can turn it up just a little bit here probably so we can get her to boil. And once it gets to boil, we're just gonna let it boil for about a minute. And once we see the cream start to climb up the sides, that's how we're gonna know we're ready to combine it with our beautiful chocolate here. So-
All right. All right, we've got the bubbles. It looks like.
It's bubbling up on the sides. We look good to go.
All
Yes.
right.
All
So
right.
what do we do next?
We'll just remove it from our heat. And first of all, we will combine our chocolate in this bowl here.
and you've got 2 different kinds of chocolate.
Yes, we have 8 ounces of bittersweet chocolate that we've chopped up quite fine. And then we have 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. So gonna have that good combination there.
All right.
And we will add our vanilla there and
Want
just
me to
give her a
stir
little
that
stir.
in?
Yep.
All right.
And then for this process, we will.
Now it smells amazing.
It does. We will just add our cream to our chocolate, and we're going to let it rest for about 5 minutes, and just kind of let it soak up and combine a little bit, and then it'll be ready for stirring.
All right. And why
super
let it
easy.
melt on its own? What's the advantage there?
So we want to get it, if we stir it too much now, it won't combine as well. So we're going to let it get just kind of good and melty with that good cream. And then once we start to stir, then we'll see that beautiful shine from the honey. So
All right. Then we'll let it do its thing.
Let it do its thing. All right. Okay, so now that we've let it rest for 5 minutes, we're going to slowly start to stir, and everything will start to come together nicely.
Oh, and that beautiful shine is coming up. And you said the shine comes from the honey?
Yes, adding the honey in place of corn syrup will kind of, it provides the same function, but it's natural and local and still delicious. And when you taste it, you can't tell that there's honey in it, but it makes a great substitute for the corn syrup, absolutely.
That is beautiful. And we're going to let that cool down, but you could make this in advance too if you didn't have a lot of time, right?
Yes, I like to do baking in stages. So you could make this the day before, you can put it in the fridge and let it cool overnight, and then if you want to use it as a frosting, you can just bring it to room temp a couple hours before you need your cake, and it's simple to work with.
All right.
This is
But
a
you
pretty-
like to drizzle and keep that gorgeous.
I do. I like to drizzle
Shine
and
and-
place some blackberries on
Nice.
top and make it a bit of an art piece.
All right,
So,
well, we'll let it cool just a little and then we'll do that.
absolutely.
All right, while the ganache was cooling, we whipped up a little whipped cream here, and you're
We
going to add
did.
some blackberries in?
Yeah, just for some color, it will look really pretty, and we'll get that slight blackberry flavor in our whipped cream as well.
Wonderful.
So we will just incorporate those so they break down a little bit for us. And it'll give it a nice purple color that'll make when we serve it, it'll look so beautiful.
All right, this looks great. We've got the ganache all ready to go. So you like to drizzle. I'll let you do your magic there.
Yeah, I do. It's just, I guess maybe it comes from when you were a child, and you're playing a little bit with food, but we just kind of can do a back and forth motion there, and then we can add more as we go. But just the way it kind of will fall down there, it's really pretty, and it'll give us a space for our blackberries to set up on there if we want to decorate a little bit.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, the consistency of this is kind of key. You want it to be just thick enough that we can have it, slide down on its own a little bit.
we've got the ganache on there, and you wanted to just garnish with a few blackberries
we'll just
too,
put
right?
a few on there and make it look kind of
Nice.
pretty for our serving. And
Right, and now we finally get to cut and
Yes.
eat the cake, right?
Absolutely.
I'll let you do the honors.
Perfect.
All right, I will plate that up. You get a dollop
Okay.
of whipped cream to
Yes.
go on top.
Just spoon a little on there.
Wonderful. All right, and let's taste.
Okay.
All right.
Make sure you get some of that ganache. because
And
that's
the
good.
blackberries too.
Yes.
Melissa, that is so delicious. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone who has ever set out on a friendly mission to prove her husband wrong knows how sweet it is to be right. It's even sweeter when it's the beginning of a growing business. There you go.
I was eating a national brand of granola before, and Belinda one day said that she could whip up a batch for me. And I said, no, it's okay. I really like this granola. Leave it to the professionals. So she set out to prove me wrong. And when I got home from work that day, she had whipped up a batch, and it was 10 times better than the national brand I was eating. So I knew then we may be onto something.
And then he would take it to work and let people try it at work.
Yep.
And they liked it. They're like, can we buy this?
So they made it official with O'Brien's own gourmet granola and began selling their granola at farmers markets and craft fairs. It wasn't long after they built a kitchen in their basement that they needed to expand again. Today, Belinda mixes and bakes more than 15 flavors of granola in their commercial facility in Center Point. Their best seller is chocolate peanut butter, which tastes like a no-bake cookie.
Our newest one is O'Brien's Joy. Tastes like a popular candy bar. So with coconut and almonds and chocolate.
Chocolate, so
Very
we just-
good.
Each batch is assembled and baked by hand. The end product is softer and chewier than most granolas.
You know, our main thing was let's keep this simple and healthy. So we don't add any preservatives. There's no fillers. We wanted something that was a healthier snack alternative, but to keep it simple so that a customer can pick up a bag of our product and see 5 or 6 ingredients on our nutrition label, and that's it.
Most of our ingredients we get locally. The honey comes from Iowa, the oats come from Iowa, and those are our 2 major things in the product.
Expanding into grocery stores has been very exciting for the O'Briens, but Belinda still enjoys the farmers markets in Cedar Rapids and Des Moines.
I love it. I love meeting our customers and getting to know them on a personal level. And it's really fun when you see people walk by and they're like, I have bought that granola at Hy-Vee, and then they come in and talk with us.
And a great opportunity for them to actually sample and taste the product.
Since Rick quit his day job, he and Belinda have been working together full time. It's been an opportunity for them to invest in their own family and find new respect for each other.
It's like 2 people trying to be the boss. Sometimes it's not so good, but sometimes it's really good because
Yeah.
he really is the logistics.
The operations side
Yeah.
of all that. So I'm kind of the business mind in the
Yeah.
in the deal, and she's the creative side, which we really need. So I think what we've learned is to play on each other's strengths.
I will tell you, this is a huge setup for retirement because we can see that we can get along.
We're very humbled with where our company's going, where it's come from.
Yeah.
And try to dream big, right? So we hope to go national one day, and we're not afraid. You know, a lot of times stores will keep us away into the Iowa products section, which is great. We love being in those sections, but we don't mind being right next to the national brands.
We would go toe-to-toe with them any day. I just Googled yesterday, Iowa granola. We're the first one that pops up. It was kind of neat.
That's it for this episode. Thank you for joining us. I'm Charity Nebbe. Join us next time for another culinary cruise through our state on Iowa Ingredient. As you can probably guess, the Iowa Ingredient staff appreciates everything about the food scene in Iowa. And in 2016 and early 2017, we visited the restaurants, farms, and other locations showcased on this program. But circumstances can change, so we encourage you to check ahead if you're planning a visit of your own. We hope you get the chance to get out there and enjoy Iowa's fabulous food experiences for yourself.
Funding for Iowa Ingredient has been provided by a grant from the W.T. and Edna M. Dahl Trust, Chef Lisa Laval of Trellis Cafe and Chef Michael Laval of the Des Moines Embassy Club. For more than 100 years, the Des Moines Embassy Club has provided a place to dine, celebrate, and do business. Located in downtown Des Moines and in West Des Moines, details are at embassyclub.com. Friends, the Iowa Public Television Foundation.